Hey gang, this is Andy over at today's Seabed Oil. I'm starting just straight off to tell you that I think I have a great show. I have a great show with the people I have. I hope that I could pull it off so that they don't outshine me, because I have Sass, and I'm going to call her Sass Hugs and Kisses, because that's what her last name says on her Facebook page. And then Erica Garici, who are brand partners with me, business partners with me at Vasayo. We're going to be talking about the difference between being a customer and a brand partner. And I think this will go in a couple different directions as we join. So I'm going to do my intro now, and when I come back, hopefully Sass will be joining us too, but Erica and I will be on for sure. Oh, I see Sass joining now. So right after this intro, we get started. Hey there, gang. We're on with Erica and Sass. Sass, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, very good. All right. Right when it counts, right? Right when the cameras go live, everything begins to work. That's awesome. And so first, what I want to do is I want you to tell the audience a little bit about yourselves, where you're from, and maybe how long you've been with Vasayo or something like that, and maybe a little bit about if you're married, have kids, and that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and start with Sass before we lose her again.
Okay. My name is Sass. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I moved to New York to work in the music industry. I left that career when I got married and had kids. I have 4 littles, and I have been with Vasayo for a little over a year now, but in network marketing, a little over 3 years now.
Awesome. Awesome. Is your name Hugs and Kisses?
Perhaps it could be Zozo, as I've been told.
I was going to try that too, but I was afraid that, I might mispronounce something that it may really be your last name. I don't know, but we're going to keep that secret. You have a very interesting life, by the way. You and I had dinner together at the convention in Salt Lake City. And someday we'll get back together, just you and I, and kick Eric off, and we'll go into a little bit of your history, because you have a really interesting history. If that sounds good to you, I'd really like to.
For sure.
All right, awesome. All right, Erica, tell us a little about yourself.
Hey. So I live in New Jersey. I've lived here my whole life. We briefly moved to Chicago and to Boston for my husband's job, but I've pretty much been born and raised a Jersey girl. I have 3 little girls. They're 6, 4, and 2. So they keep me extremely, extremely busy. And I've been with Vasayo for just over a year. So kind of around the same as Sass. And I was originally with a skincare company. I was there for about 4.5 years. Had no idea about network marketing, anything about that. When I started there, was just a mom looking to make some extra money from home. And I kind of fell upon Vasayo. I saw a bunch of people, interviews kind of like this, and just really sharing a different way that they were speaking about this business. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard before in the network marketing space. And it really just made me interested. And I followed it for about 5 months. I swore I would not get into it. I was comfortable, so to speak, where I was. And but I just couldn't pass it up. So I hopped on board about a year ago and have been building here ever since.
That's fantastic. Sorry, Sass, I was covering your face with the people's comments there.
No, that's fine. Please do.
There we go. That'll be better now. I won't cover up your face. But we got Lynn on, and Julianne. Julianne, I met for the first time. One of the things about being in Dallas last week is that this is really the first time, I don't know, where I got that feeling that I was walking into my Facebook in real life. Right? I was seeing all these. I go, I know you. I don't know why I know you. If you one of my one of my customers or what. But I started meeting all these people that have either commented on shows that I've done or I've seen on Overcome Nation, that kind of stuff. So it was really, really kind of cool to be in that environment. So what I wanted to just go ahead and start talking about is when you decide to come into Vasayo, if you're following me, at today's CBD oil and you decide that you want to be a part of Vasayo, either as a customer or a brand partner, sometimes I get questions from those people that simply want CBD or maybe even Eternal or one of the others, is that when you go in to log in, it asks you if you want to be a brand partner. And inevitably, I will get the question, what should I do? Should I join as a brand partner or a customer? So I want to answer that question first, but then I want to kind of go in a little bit deeper as to the advantages, both as a brand partner. Do we want people joining up as a customer or brand partner? Because there is, I think, a little bit of a strategy behind that too. But also, do some people want to join as a brand partner, sometimes just to get the discount? So there's all these little nuances that I want to talk about. But just behind me here, for those of you that aren't on your phone, maybe on your computer, on here on the left, I have, it says customer. And of course, you have all the products. You can get CBD1, you can get Eternal, Core Complete, which is a vitamins, Renew, which completely regenerates your entire body so that it makes it new. Detox and Sleep, which is fantastic, helps you sleep. So as a customer, simply you're joining on just to have these products shipped to you. You can put them on auto ship and have them shipped to you on a regular basis, so you don't have to worry about it. And that is all that is just as a customer, not just a customer, because I have plenty of customers, and to me, they're not just customers. They're people that are looking to change their life and become well. And then we have joining a brand partner. And that comes with a lot of extra stuff, which we'll get into in just a minute. So, Erica, in relationship to this business of Vasayo, do you find yourself getting a lot of customers, or is your primary business bringing in people as brand partners? What do you think your target is?
So, I think when I started, my primary focus was building a team, and I wanted to kind of get out of where I previously was, which was like a lot of customers. And I really wanted to build a team and build a larger team and really be able to, pour into them that way. But I found over time that as important as that is, you need to have customers too, because these products, while I wouldn't say like I want to like push the products on anybody, they've done so much for myself, for my husband, for my parents, for so many people's health. I mean, I got a message the other night from an old friend from high school, where her dad had the first night of uninterrupted sleep in years from our CBD cream. And it was just like that, those type of messages, they really, they hit you, hard, and you realize that you're making a difference in people's health. And so I would say now I'm actively really doing both. I spend time on building my business, but I'm also looking to add customers that way.
Yeah, I think I saw you put a testimonial on. Was that
just recently, and he was really hesitant to try it at first, and tried all these other methods, and finally he tried a sample and he loved it, just a little bit, so just to test it out. And then my friend ordered the cream for him, and she just messaged me a few days ago telling me that he was so blown away by the results, by how this cream worked, that he couldn't believe that he had a substantial amount of less pain, and it was able to sleep. So yeah,
I love those. It makes my day when I get a message from somebody that has had migraines. I have people that have migraines for like almost their entire life, and they said, I've taken every medication, every pharmaceutical there is. This is the first thing that works. Like, and they just are so happy. Like, what's this miracle thing you gave me? They were so afraid to try it because they thought it was marijuana.
Well, exactly. Yep.
Sass, how about you? Customers or brand partners? How has that evolved since you've been with Vasayo?
Well, first I'll start by saying that if they purchase ad hoc, like on the spur, it's one price, right? And then if they get a monthly subscription, there's a slight discount, and then there's a further discount if you are a brand partner. So yep. I guess once you find out, do they want to just join for the discount, then that's really up to them. But if they're asking, should I become a brand partner, or should I be a customer solely, then they must be curious. Mm-hmm. They must want to know a little bit more. They wouldn't be asking unless it was strictly for the discount, right? Yeah. And my views on that is they're usually just talking themselves out of it, of trying, Yeah. And I took a multivitamin for 13 years, right? as soon as I was pregnant with my first son, I started taking a multivitamin, and I did it blindly. Like I didn't even think about it. Every time I got to like the bottom of the bottle, I bought more. You know,
Yep.
if I was not doing this business, I would still be purchasing these vitamins because I feel better.
Yep.
So the way I see it is I'm doing it anyway. So if you're curious, you're probably doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Take a look and see. We have another product that they can't buy, and that's our business goal. So I would say take a look. That's my
Yeah.
view.
For me, my strength seems to have always been selling the products. So I have just been a customer base, and I know that doesn't make leadership or my upline that happy, but that's just because I liked what you said, because they simply work. And Erica, what you said about those testimonials from people, because I got into the network marketing business by accident. I didn't intend on being in network marketing. It just so happens because I was talking about CBD and wrote a book about CBD and then started speaking to doctors about CBD that people said, hey, you're kind of leaving money on the table. People are buying and you could be benefiting. So why don't you give them a URL they can go to and buy? So then I became a brand partner, and then now I have both brand partners that have joined me. But I would say most of the people that I have are customers. And so that brings me to my next point, and that is I am horrible at understanding the business of network marketing. That is not my strength. And people ask me all the time, well, what's the pay structure? How does that all work? And literally I have to, do a 3-way call to somebody else or have somebody, because even after a year and a half, of 2 different companies, by the way, I still struggle on that aspect. And so this kind of will be speaking to more people that are already in the business, brand partners. What is the advantage or disadvantage? What if you have somebody join as a brand partner, but really they never do anything as a brand partner and only just continue to buy, and they're buying, at the discounted prices? Is that really benefiting you as a business owner, that you have somebody that's a customer but is listed as a brand partner? Erica,
So, I mean, I guess it depends also like on how much they're really, ordering as a customer, because unless you stay active, right, in our, in our business, like you start to build volume, right, as you stay active here. So for some people, I feel like they might start out as a customer and maybe they see, well, this volume is building start as a brand partner and they see this volume starting to build under them, but they've had no intention, right, of building a business here. But they get on the products and they're like, okay, I really like them. And oh my goodness, like I'm seeing organizational volume building now, because in our compensation structure, we have a binary compensation plan. So we're building 2 legs and they're all building underneath each other. So where I came from was unilevel. It didn't work like that, right? So I didn't even know that there was different compensation plans out there, Andy, until I came here. But here you really are working to help each other. And our compensation plan pays for that with our check match and, and some other ways. So I think if they end up having an interest to build, starting out as a brand partner, like that could be worth it. But otherwise, if it's me and I have somebody who's just like, I want to randomly order the products, I would probably push them more to a customer, because they have to want to build, and to be part of our business school and to access all of that information. I feel like it's a lot. I mean, and there's so much information in there. And if you're not ready to be a brand partner and you're just really looking forward, to be a customer, it might be too much for somebody, Right. So I think it just depends on where their head is at. But for any of us, I feel like as long as people are ordering and they're seeing a benefit, it's really, I kind of leave it up to them. I'm like, if you really want to get the products at a wholesale and you just want to do that, but you don't want to be plugged into anything else, then, that's fine to me too,
Sass, have any additional thoughts on that?
Yeah, if they want to join as a business partner for the discount, that's again, like I said earlier, that's their choice. But I would definitely keep checking in on them every so often, because you don't know what's going on in their lives at that, and at any given moment. It could change. Their circumstances could change, health could change. Employment status can change, so many things could change.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that leads me to my first bullet point here, because I want to now shift from customer, because customer is pretty easy. If you want to feel better, if you want to be healthy, if you want to try products from a company that's one of the top 50 healthcare companies in the world, with a scientific advisory team that has doctors on it, and Tracy Gibbs, who is in my mind the scientist in plant-based products that actually work, with a liposome technology that I think it was who was the one who said it? Who I just had it and I lost it. Julianne. Julianne said, "Thank God, literally, we are absorbing our products, and that is because we have the liposome technology." And so that's easy. Be a customer if you just want to simply be healthy and use the best products. But in being a brand partner, and I'm sorry, I got to shift this over again to this view here so I don't cut Sass off. And that is that Rick Gutman, who is the leader of Overcome Nation, which is the free business school that you get by joining any one of us. I'm not doing this to grab anybody's customers, right? Join whoever you like best, whoever's prettier, which definitely is not me. Join that team. All right. If you like Canucks better, join Sass. Right. And if you like law enforcement, join Erica. Hey, I forgot I'm a cop. You can join me too. All right. The fact is, when you want to begin to change your life, you may want to consider being a brand partner, because 76% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And that actually is even more shocking than I thought it was. I mean, I know I've had my struggles, and I think from time to time, depending, because I'm self-employed, not only through Vasayo, but through my other businesses, there are some times where business isn't that great. And those are months that I literally go, I hope somebody calls. I hope somebody calls before next month, because I right now I cannot make the house payment. So that 76%, I'm glad I'm not alone from time to time, that I want to maybe at times one of the 76% of Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck. And we'll just start with Sass on this one. What is this maybe one of the reasons why you decided to join Vasayo? Is it because you were looking for a way of making a living that you weren't having to live paycheck to paycheck?
Actually, no. What happened was I got ill, and the future was a little uncertain. I didn't know if I would be able to work. I didn't know if I would. I don't know what would have happened. But I started to worry. I started to worry about my children, their future. I started to worry about how my husband was going to do this on his own. And it just so happened that that's maybe a week later, 5 days later, is when a friend of mine approached me on the products. And I asked her, where was I buying this from? I hadn't really been familiar with the industry at all. So she said it was her business. And I was like, maybe I can do this. I asked her a few questions, and I said, once I found out I could will it to my children, I said, that's it. I'm in. I'll try it, because it is something that you don't plan for. You don't plan to lose your employment. You don't plan to get sick, but when it happens, it really puts a lot of things into perspective, and so I stuck with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said that, because I have on their legacy company, and yeah, you can. What you're saying, I have 5 children. I know I don't look like it. I look pretty good for having 5 kids, but that is the thing. And right now, my 13-year-old, he's now wearing the Overcome Nation hat with the lion on it. I almost said tiger, lion on it, and he loves listening to Rick when I have Rick on, and he got them. All my kids got to meet Rick in San Diego at a recent event, but I've been talking to them about, hey, they kind of come on, they watch me do my Facebook lives too on the product. And I said, listen to what I'm saying, and listen to the words. And, I know you may not catch all of them now, but, some of them are young, 6, 9, 11, 13, and then 25. And I said, listen to these words. They will not teach you this in school. And that is a very important aspect of me being on this team. Right. It's not just that it's a legacy company. It's not just because it's great products, but the team itself, and Rick Gutman and the rest of the training that we get from everybody else just seems to be spectacular. So before I get on that other subject, Erica, what was it that brought you to network marketing and Vasayo?
So when my first daughter was born, Ava, she was born 10 weeks early, and we were living in Massachusetts. I had her in Massachusetts, and then we got transferred to Chicago. And I had given up my job at that moment. I was working for Marc Jacobs. I worked in the city. I worked down in Soho, and I loved it. I loved the company. I didn't really love working in accounts receivable, but I loved the company. And I knew that I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom to begin with, but I just never thought, honestly, financially, that it would, be possible. And when we moved to Chicago, I knew that I couldn't go and get a full-time job. I couldn't leave her being such a preemie. My husband had such a demanding job as it was. So I needed to find something that I could do from home, and that I wouldn't have to leave her with strangers. And again, what started out as, hey, maybe I could do this and, make a few $100s, right? I wasn't really doing it for the money, so to speak, at that point in our life. I was kind of doing it for something for me, because I was just with an infant all day and all night. And I wanted something, for myself. I kind of wanted my college degree to be put to good use by me doing something. And it ended up turning into so much more. While I went in a different direction and came here, I learned a lot from those 4.5 years, just in general about, what this industry could offer. And then once I saw what Rick was teaching here about financial education and how I could actually put it into use, it opened up all new possibilities as far as who I could talk to about the business. Really the longevity I felt like of having a team that could be duplicatable and sustain, the growth and not just become stagnant anymore. And that's because of what we're learning in Overcome Nation,
Right.
all those strengths that he teaches us. Again, it's not just financial, but we're making ourselves better people. We're becoming mentally more, mentally, physically, there's so many, there's 13. I can't list them all, but it's made me, I feel like a better mom, a better wife. Like, I feel like I've grown as a person, on top of the fact that now I feel like I'm in a better position to lead my team and other people who join me.
Yeah, there was something that Rick said in his thing. I don't have the whole thing here. I just jotted down. Where is it? So Overcome Nation. No, that's not it. Darn it. Hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. It is not just a business, and it's just not a ministry. It's a little bit of both. And we're like shepherds, right, to our flock. And you have to balance that. We're teaching business. And then it's a little bit of that ministry where we're helping people with their lives. And that really is spoken to at the events like the one in Dallas we just went to. And I just want to clarify again for people watching, we have Vasayo, which is the international distribution company that makes all the products. They make it available. You make a phone call or you type in the URL and you purchase from there and they ship it to you. That's our business, right? They handle all of it for us. They do all the hiring. They do probably not any firing, but they do all the hiring. They take all the chances. They buy all the insurance necessary to run a business. They pay all the employment, taxes. I mean, they take on all the headaches, including the complaints if there are any. And they do that. That's our company, Vasayo. They handle all of that. Then we have our team, right? In network marketing, there tends to be teams, right? You join somebody and you have a bunch of people that are joined together by the leadership. Rick Gutman is the leader of our team, Overcome Nation. And so you'll hear us use Vasayo and Overcome Nation in different ways. Overcome Nation is the team we're on. But Overcome Nation is simply under the umbrella of our international distribution company called Vasayo. And we had our own conference in Dallas, just our team, which is amazing. And in there, he teaches us not just about business. And I think that's the difference, is that he doesn't just teach us about business. Now, the business part he teaches is unlike anybody else's, right? He teaches how to talk about business, how to understand business, about passive income, about, business models, and about all the things that we're talking about to you tonight in many ways. But then we have the other part, right? The other part of this family environment. And, you could overuse that word. You overuse it in law enforcement. We say we have the family of law enforcement, but it struggles. It's a tough family. And I've been in law enforcement for many, many years. But I've not really been involved in anything like this with the family environment that we have. I go to Dallas with 600 people, 600 of our 2,000 or 3,000 people there on this team. And there's not one person that I could not spend an hour with, talking to, hang out with, have a couple drinks with, for those that had drinks, at the bar, or sit next to in the convention. And I mean, there's nobody, and I have yet. There will be somebody, I know, because there always is some crazy person. But as of yet, it is a really great environment, and I really am just amazed. And so him talking about, it's not just a business, it's not just a ministry, right? It's a little bit of both. And it really does change people's lives. And you talking about how it's made you a better wife, a better mom. I feel the same way. I feel that I have improved in many ways. And I don't have a wife now. I'm looking for one. But as a parent, I know for sure, 100%, there has been some things that I've taken away from Overcome Nation that have made me a better parent. And almost got a little sobby there. So sorry. I'm getting a little teary-eyed. But it has been powerful to be around all of you. And Rick and all the teaching that has come. So now I've lost even my point of what I was talking about there. So you want to, Sass, did you want to add on to that about the environment of Overcome Nation?
The culture is, no, I agree 100%. I spoke about this a little while ago about Simon Sinek, him talking about culture, about leadership, and how, in companies, in employments, you have coworkers and colleagues, and in fraternities and in military, you have brothers and sisters. And the difference is that you can fight with your brothers and sisters, you can disagree, but there's no love lost. It's very hard to find someone that will leave over an argument when it's, in the military, in that family type, a real family type of environment. Because if someone was to attack your brother or sister, you would go to blows, right? And the key to that kind of a culture and longevity in business is to cultivate that type of a culture, and Rick's done very well. And it comes from the leaders, it comes from the top, from all the way up to Dallin. That type of a servant leadership, if you want to call it that, right? And we do have that in common, which is why there isn't someone in the room that you can't sit beside, because we all have the same goal, and we're all there to help one another, and it's been instilled in us, like what we do to our children, right? We try to instill the same values and they grow up together believing the same things, and we're all for a common goal, and that's to have successful lives, not just successful businesses. So, right? How could you really go wrong with that?
Yeah. The one thing that I find interesting, although money does come up in a couple, in conversations and even on stage and that kind of stuff, but it's not the main thing that's talked about. It's so interesting, because sometimes I always expect, this is how you get, when you're, I know that I've gone to a couple Amway meetings. I know that I've gone to other network marketing things, and there's always this very hard hitting message about you're going to get rich and you're going to make tons of money. And, you get, this, I don't know, a Mercedes Benz, and which is all the things you get here too, right? At Vasayo, but it isn't the principal thing that people talk about, right? It's always talking about changing people's lives, not just financially, right? It's changing people's lives, with wellness, with, in the relationships and building friendships. And then the biggest thing they talk about is helping the people out that join you, right? Carrying them when they need to be carried, and holding their hand when they need their hand held, and that kind of stuff. And I know that's what I kind of struggle with. And I know I need to do a better job, and hearing it is helping me remember that I need to do that. That is something, I don't know if it's from being a guy, because women seem to do really well at Vasayo. Our first millionaire on our team, other than Rick doesn't count because he's the leader, but our first millionaire just got her, got acknowledged, and she started, 2 years ago? And
2 years ago, a single mom, worked her butt off. And, honestly, Andy, I want to add one thing too, because coming from another company, a lot of it was very rank focused, where I came from. And I felt like if you weren't a certain rank, you didn't really bring a lot of value to the company, maybe. I don't know if I'm saying this the right way, but I feel like here, they're not so focused on your title. You know, they're focused on how they can serve you. So like Sass said, like servant leadership, and the word might get thrown around a lot, but truly they want to know, what can we do for you? How can we help you? And I don't think that, aside from getting, like, they do the rank recognition, like just so you can kind of applaud where people have been and whatever. But other than that, you have no idea what people's rank are. And it doesn't come up. It's not important. Like, if you're not a gold or a platinum, that doesn't make you any different than somebody who just hit star or something else. And I think it was Frank who said, we don't care what rank you are. If you have something of value and you are loyal to this team, like, we will bring you up here. If you have something that you can share that's going to impact other people, it doesn't matter what rank you are. And so I feel like if, people are watching and they're in other network marketing companies and, they feel that way, like, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to just be on, well, what are you going to do for your upline? You can actually be in a place where your upline says to you, what can I do for you? How can I help you? How can I serve you? My sponsor, Christine, says it to me all the time. Like, what can I do for you today? How can I help you? And she says that to every person on her team, and it doesn't just happen at month end when you need something big to happen. It happens all the time. So
gosh, I need to do that.
Culture here. It's just different.
Yeah. I like what Amy said. I'm going to put it back up here. It says, I joined for the money, but now it has flipped. I love the community, the education, the leaders, and she loves us, which is fantastic. I think she's Kathleen, Courtney, Kathleen. You know what? I got to say, Rick, I'm so jealous of, right? I mean, it's just, she is amazing. I love. She's such a kind heart. She has this thing. You can feel it, right, when you're standing next to her, and she's so kind. Not sure that I've met anybody quite like Courtney.
And she's incredibly smart.
Yeah, it's not that she's beautiful. I mean, it's just like you ignore the beauty because she is beautiful, but it's just, everything else. I've seen her do some amazing things. I wish I could go into something I saw at the service in Salt Lake City. I don't know if either one of you were there, but she performed, I would say, was a miracle, and you just simply had to be there. She is an amazing person. I'm glad she's on. It gets me nervous when people that I respect so much are on, and I just hope I'm doing them a service. Rick's compassion to the military is exactly why I'm here. We are one. Yes, and Stacy was in the military and was a combat medic, and joined us. I did a Veterans Day, I think it was, challenge. And my cousin, gave her a free bottle of CBD on that challenge. And she's off a ton of medication that she held up in a trash bag because of the products that we have here at Vasayo. And yes, back to her comment there is that the event opened with a salute to military and law enforcement and the Pledge of Allegiance. And singing of the Star Spangled Banner or America the Beautiful. I can't remember.
God bless America.
Yeah, I knew it was one of the. I knew I was saying the wrong one. But just open up with a Pledge of Allegiance. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Who does that? And then invited all the military and police to come up to be acknowledged and given a standing ovation. It was who does that? So it was great. I got Nobby. We're at an international show. Nobby's from Australia. Someday he'll be joining me. I'm going to talk him into one of these days. Kyle. I'm going to play a video in just a minute, and I'm going to play it towards the end because some people probably have already seen the video and you don't need to watch. It's only I'm going to only play 4 minutes of it, and it's a little bit about Rick Gutman. So I want to end on that, but I'll come back afterwards and we'll have some thoughts about that. I wanted to tell everybody that I'm going to be playing a little bit of a video in just a little bit about Rick Gutman, our leader, and it'll show a little bit of his heart and what his philosophy is as I'm going through some of these comments here. When you're tired of killing yourself at work, just ask. We are so much more. I like that. Shoot, I'm going to point at that and use it as a screenshot. Stacy got goosebumps. Yes. Let's see. I had tickets, but got sick. Well, you should have been taking more CBD. What's going on? So I just want to hit one more thing here really quick. One of the things that Rick said in this training night, and I'm going through some of this training to kind of end on the fact that I talked about Vasayo, great company. We have our team, which is a family environment, and the training that we get on a regular basis. It seems nightly now. that we're getting training, and we have a great new website that's been built that has training videos in it. But one of the things that he talked about, like I said, is removing the working class language from your life. And that was so powerful. It may not seem much, reading it here, but you have to get out of it. If you want to grow a business that begins to make money while you're sleeping, in other words, passive income, and will build such a business you can hand down to your kids, is that you have to stop thinking like an employee. You have to understand that you have to stop feeling that maybe that comfort you get from getting a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks or once a month, whenever you get paid, that you have to live that way, that you have to pay highest taxes because you're an employee, that that you will not move up and make more money than your boss because you're just an employee. That is nothing that we talk about in Overcome Nation as far as being a business owner. You can pass Rick Gutman if you want. You can pass anybody that you want if you work hard enough. None of us are here going to say that this is easy. You're not going to make money overnight. It's not going to happen, with you just putting minimal effort. You do have to put in effort and you have to work hard. But it is so that you don't have to worry about that paycheck that's always the same, right? Unless you work overtime and work your ass off, right? And it's still only going to be the same. And then when you work overtime, what happens? It all gets taxed at a higher tax bracket. And so you have to stop thinking that way and remove that working class language from your life. How has that helped you, Sass, in understanding that just thinking differently, that you don't have to be an employee to be a success, and you'll never be a success?
Honestly, I always lived on my terms. I did what I wanted to do, and I lived pretty freely that way. And when wasn't until I became a mom that I said, I have to be safe. I have to get a job. Let me get out of, the risky, businesses and start, have good health care and have a steady check. And I realize now that was I was going the wrong way. I should have stayed where I was and continued doing that. And it's funny because, I tell my kids all the time, you could do whatever you want.
Right.
If you could dream it, you could do it. I tell them to have adventures, but then what am I doing? What was I doing? Right. I was doing the exact opposite. I went backwards. And so, I think that the security of the steady paycheck is definitely, it's almost like a trap. And when you look at the corporate world, they're the ones who are really paying like a pyramid structure. You'll never surpass the ones above you. Whereas in our company, I have surpassed the person above me. So
wow,
definitely limitless.
See? Yeah. And sometimes you can do that with their help and you do it faster. And sometimes you can do it in spite of them not helping. I mean, that it really is up to you. And there's always people above them, right? There's always other people. Again, Rick's is the top of our pyramid and our team. So you just move up and you just keep working hard and you just start passing people and everybody encourages you. This is unlike the other network marketing company that I was with. That it was, if I tried to do this interview system with them, I wouldn't. I tried.
Competition.
Yeah, they didn't want to do anything with me because they thought I was going to steal their customers. That's kind of why I still feel like I have to say that it's not important how this works out. I don't care. All right. We all want to help each other. If you're successful, I'm successful. If I'm successful, you're successful. And that's really the culture that has been built in this company. And that's what makes it important. Erica, any thoughts on that, on what we were just talking about?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that, that steady paycheck, those benefits, I mean, I feel like maybe a lot of people were like me. I was taught to go to school, right? And then go to college and get a job and, then work for the next, 30 to 40 years in that job and then retire with, my 401k, which, whatever, all these things that we're taught. And, growing up, my dad was a police officer. My mom was a teacher. So, which is amazing professions, but a lot of times they're like thankless professions, right? And they weren't, my parents didn't ever go the entrepreneurial route, right? Like, so it wasn't like I had parents who showed me that. I saw the traditional route and, I saw how hard they worked and how much they worked. And, growing up, my dad would work midnights, in Patterson because he wanted to be able to be there to coach us in soccer or whatever. And so, but he was, I can't even imagine now, as a kid, I didn't really realize it, but if like my husband had to do that and stuff like that. And I see my husband, he's the president of his company and he works nonstop. And it's like, you're kind of like Sass said, it's almost like you're tricked into that, because if you don't have that steady paycheck coming in, in New Jersey, it costs a lot of money, to live here. And we need the two streams of income. It started out as like, oh, this is great. And now it's become a necessity. And I kind of feel like it's hard, and jobs aren't what they used to be anymore. There's not as much security anymore. You could easily be working your butt off and be an amazing employee and then still get let go, still get let off, maybe with nothing. So I don't know. I feel like you need to have another option. You need to have an additional stream of income, whether or not it becomes your full-time income or not. I feel like it's helpful in any situation that you're in.
Yep, and with automation and everything that's happening with computers and robots and stuff like that, you better find something. And the wellness business is not going away. I used to have the graph up that shows where we're at. We're at the very bottom of this boom business with CBD and wellness. So the timing's perfect to join us, because as other businesses, traditional businesses are going away, this one is not, because there's still going to be people on this earth who need to be, taken care of and need to feel a little bit better. So I'm going to play a video a little bit. I just want to show you a little bit about Rick, who is our leader that we've been talking about, because there's this mystical guy that we talk about every so often. He's so busy, it's hard to interview him. And I think in the near future, I should be able to interview him again. It's been probably about 7 months since I've interviewed him. But let me go ahead and play this video for a minute. So I'm only play 4 minutes of it. So be patient, and then we'll come back and we'll just finish up with a couple final thoughts before we sign off. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
All right. Here we go. Give me a second to get this set up. Go full screen. You guys can take a drink of water now and all, whatever you're going to do.
Oh, thank God.
All right.
What's up, everyone? Just going to give you a few minutes for everyone to get on here. My value is not found in my cars or how much money I have in the bank. My value is found in my team. So listen, you guys, I know that this is a different hour to be getting on here. I know I don't normally start teaching and training until 5. But I wanted to get on here earlier, and I just wanted to express to all of you how much you mean to me. Our vision here isn't just to build a big organization, a big company. We're here to change the world. I am just an extension of you, right? We can say that we have a black diamond team. I want to flip this industry on its head with real purpose-driven life, with real financial education, with real credibility. And each and every person on my team is a critical component of that mission. I've been on edge because I wanted to tell every single one of you guys that we did it. We did it together. You guys, we did it together.
So the thing that I love about Rick that makes him so unique is his brilliance and passion for this industry. For the first time, somebody has come along using social platforms, which in the past you haven't been able to leverage in all of the decades that networking has been around. And he's single-handedly changing people's viewpoints because of the business acumen and the financial literacy that he's delivering to people.
I think a lot of people don't realize how much time he spends developing and self-development and continue to grow and to try to affect people's lives. I've spent some time with him here at the house and watched him prepare for a 40-minute online session. He may spend 5 or 6 hours studying and really trying to go over and how he can deliver his message effectively.
Rick really cares. Like every single person that has been brought in this industry, he actually genuinely cares about. I know that he he's like the one person who would want to make sure everybody succeeds here.
His perspective on it is, again, different than anything I'd ever heard. He takes this vast amount of knowledge that's really an elephant and chunks it down so you can eat it one bite at a time.
My system, the foundation of it is speaking the language of business. So you can sit down with a business executive, you can sit down with a business owner, and you can speak with real financial literacy and point out the advantages of network marketing. I wanted to take ownership of finding a solution to where people could build this business and not live on the road like I did. 12 days out of the month for over a decade was very difficult for me. I wanted to see my team be able to build their businesses right from their home.
All right. Got to get rid of it. There we go. So thoughts. Oh shoot, I meant to get rid of it. There we go. So thoughts, Erica, on Rick and what we saw in that video.
I mean, so I've seen the video before, obviously, but I feel like I just really like watching it again and hearing his words and knowing Rick. You realize how honest he really is being there. He truly wants to see every single one of us be successful. He truly wants to help us all become better people, like Seth said, not just business, but he wants to help us have better lives. And he might look like this big, tough guy, but his heart is so big and he's so smart when it comes to business. And he really does break it down for us so that we are all educated enough, postured enough, right, to be able to have big conversations and forget the, hey, like the hey girl messages, as we call it, like he's looking for us to build massive businesses. And I've never seen anything else like him out there. And there's certainly not anything else like him in the network marketing space. You have to pay a lot of money to get education like Rick is giving us for free on our team. And I feel like Vasayo is amazing and I love Vasayo, but Overcome Nation is what sets us apart. Like if I would not want to be part of any other team than what we are here.
Yeah. He's paid the money for us. Right?
Yeah.
It's got them thousands, tens and tens of thousands of dollars to get the education that he gives us.
Yep.
Sass, your thoughts?
Oh, wow. Erica hit it on the nose. I know pretty successful people. And I see a lot of the things that he teaches us. I'm like, yeah, for sure. Got it. Yes. And the only difference is that he shares it openly with anyone. It's not a secret. He respects us and loves us. That's true. But he also respects and loves this industry enough that he wants to see it change. And yeah, she Erica, you hit it on the nose, honey.
I think I really feel like that's how all of us feel. And when you can have a room of that many people, like 600 people where we were, and stay till 1 a.m. because we are so intrigued by what he's teaching. We are also like captivated by it. I mean, that speaks volumes in itself. Nobody left any trainings early. I think he said it was like 28 hours of training packed into two days, right? Friday to Sunday. And everybody stayed and everybody wants to learn and everybody wants to grow. And like you said, he's more than willing to share what he knows and wants to share what he knows with everybody.
Yep. On Saturday, it was like 28 hours in 24 hours. I can't take anymore. Like it's like, how can you fit anymore? And I got writer's cramp from taking notes. Oh well. So I got more out of this, and this is kind of selfish for me to do these things when I have other people on. It's to learn from you guys and hear what you have to say, and even remind me of things that maybe I've forgotten. And all the people that have joined us and left and commented. I appreciate all your comments because there are a number of right on the nose comments that are coming through from some of our friends that we were able to spend time with. But if you like what we did here today, go ahead and share it out. Again, I would just appreciate that if you are interested in joining us, just for me, pick the person that you think that, that you would like to join as a team member, or you can, just close your eyes and pick somebody. But that's not what it's all about for us. It's really just about, it's about just joining us and being a part of it. I will root for you the same as if you're on my team, as if you're not. And that goes the same with everybody, I think, that is part of this Overcome Nation, which is unlike anything else that's in network marketing. Like, I don't know who said it, but one of you said it. It was fantastic. And that is the truth. All right. Unless anybody has something else, we're gonna land this plane because it's gone on for 49 minutes. 50 minutes.
This has been great chatting with you guys, though. Andy, thank you for having us on.
It's been awesome. I really appreciate you guys at the last moment deciding to come on. So I'm going to play the outro. If you can stick around just a couple of minutes, we can chat after the outro is done, and nobody can hear us. We can say things. Here. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name's Andy. We got Sass. We got Erica, and we're part of Vasayo and Overcome Nation. Join us. I think you'll love it. All right. Take care.